Welcome to Why Walking Matters, the Science Explained, your weekly dose of motivation, movement, and mindful walking. I'm Tatiana, and in each episode, I'll share inspiring reads with helpful tips and science backed insights to help you understand why walking matters. So lace up, take a breath, and let's walk together.
This article is from diabetes.org.uk. Walking when you have diabetes. If you're looking for a way to include more physical activity and exercise into your daily routine, walking is a great place to start. It's free. You can walk almost anywhere at any time or on the spot, and it's good for your diabetes. Walking is a great way to be less sedentary and break up long periods of sitting time, which we know can be harmful to our health. Breaking up periods of sitting with short, frequent walks can help people with type 2 diabetes reduce their blood sugar levels and their risk of complications, research has shown. And a study we funded has now found the same benefits for people with type 1 diabetes. Activity snacking helps people with type 1 diabetes manage blood sugar levels, new study finds, 4/24/2023. Our research reveals for the first time that short breaks from sitting time, also known as activity snacking, can help people with type 1 diabetes to spend more time with their blood sugar levels in target range. Long periods of sitting can be harmful to our health, even if you exercise regularly. But activity snacking could offer people a simple, cost free way to help manage their blood sugar levels and potentially reduce their risk of future complications. Previous research has shown that breaking up periods of sitting with short, frequent walks can help people with type 2 diabetes reduce their blood sugar levels and their risk of complications. This is because being active can increase the amount of glucose, sugar, used by muscles and can help the body to use insulin more effectively. But until now, we haven't known if people with type 1 diabetes could see the same benefits or if there could be any risks, such as having more hypos. With funding from Diabetes UK, Dr. Matthew Campbell at the University of Sunderland investigated for the first time the impact of breaking up sedentary time on blood sugar levels in people with type 1 diabetes. Less sitting time. In the study, 32 participants completed two 7-hour sitting sessions over a 2-week period. During one session, participants remained seated for the full 7 hours. During the other session, they broke up their sitting time with 3-minute bouts of light intensity walking every 30 minutes. Participants wore a continuous glucose monitor, CGM, to track their blood sugar levels for a 48-hour period during and after each sitting session. Everyone was given a standardized breakfast and lunch, and they were asked to stick to the same diet, activity levels, and insulin doses over the study period. Blood sugar benefits. The team found that taking regular walking breaks resulted in lower average blood sugar levels, 6.9 mmol/L, over the 48-hour study period, compared to uninterrupted sitting, 8.2 mmol/L. This increased time with blood sugar levels in the target range, 3.9 to 10 mmol/L, by 14%. The improvement in time in range was seen over the whole 48-hour study period after the breaks from sitting session, including after meals and at night. Crucially, breaks from sitting didn't increase hypos, low blood sugar levels. Dr. Matthew Campbell at the University of Sunderland said, "These results provide the first piece of evidence that simply breaking up prolonged periods of sitting time with light intensity activity can increase the amount of time spent with blood sugar levels in the target range. Importantly, this strategy does not seem to increase the risk of potentially dangerous blood glucose lows, which are a common occurrence with more traditional types of physical activity and exercise. Breaking up prolonged sitting with light intensity activity is something that people can do irrespective of whether they currently exercise or not. For some people, activity snacking could be an important stepping stone towards more regular physical activity or exercise, whereas for others, it may be a simple and acceptable intervention to help manage blood glucose levels. Following on from these initial findings, our preliminary analyses also show that breaking up prolonged sitting time with light activity breaks may improve blood vessel health and reduce the risk of diabetes related complications. Dr. Elizabeth Robertson, our director of research, said, "For people with type 1 diabetes, managing blood sugar levels day in and day out is relentless. Being physically active is important in managing the condition, but building exercise into your daily routine can be challenging, and even those who exercise frequently can often spend a lot of time sitting or lying down. It's incredibly encouraging that these findings suggest that making a simple, practical change, such as taking phone calls while walking or setting a timer to remind you to take breaks to avoid sitting for long periods, could have such a profound effect on blood sugar levels. Breaking up sitting time with short bursts of activity offers a cost free way to help people with type 1 diabetes manage their blood sugar levels and potentially reduce their risk of future complications. We look forward to further research to understand the long term benefits of this approach." And walking is low impact, which means it's easy on your joints and it's suitable for all fitness levels and ages. If you'd like to do more walking but are worried about how it will affect your blood sugar levels or don't know how to start, we've got lots of practical tips to give you confidence. We've also got tips on looking after your feet, which is important if you have diabetes. Benefits of walking when you have diabetes. When you have diabetes, moving more can make a huge difference to how you feel and how you manage your condition. So, whether you have type 1, type 2, or another type of diabetes, walking is a good way to get physically active and build movement into your daily routine. This is because walking helps the body use insulin better, helps relieve stress, which can affect your blood sugar levels and reduce symptoms of depression and anxiety, helps you build stamina, burn excess calories, and make your heart healthier. Increasing the speed at which you walk increases the benefits, is a low risk activity because it's easy on your joints. It can help improve your sleep. Exercise and insulin. It's important to check your blood sugar levels before and after physical activity. One of the benefits of being more active is that it can increase how well your body uses insulin to bring your blood sugar levels down. This may mean you need to adjust your dose before, during, or after you exercise, depending on how long you're moving for and the type of activity you're doing. And it's important to check your blood sugar levels after you finish exercising. You may also need to continue to check them for up to 24 hours afterwards, as your body can respond better to insulin after activity for that long. It's best to speak to your healthcare team for more information, as they'll be able to look at your activity levels and help you make the right changes to your dose. If you use a continuous glucose monitor, you will be able to see the effect of any activity you do on your blood sugar levels. Stress and diabetes. Stress doesn't cause diabetes, but it can affect your blood sugar levels and how you look after your condition. Having diabetes to manage on top of life's normal ups and downs can itself be a cause of stress. It's not always easy to live with, and this can also feel harder when many people don't understand it. You can't avoid stressful situations, but there are things you can do to make it easier to cope. This will help stop stress building up and affecting your emotional health. What is stress? Stress is how your body and mind reacts to new or difficult situations. It might be something short term like worrying about a presentation you're giving at work the next day, or going to a party where you don't know many people at the weekend. It can also be something physical, like an accident or illness. Or you may have less immediate but more constant worries about things like money, a relationship, or coping with the loss of someone close. Stress can affect you physically, emotionally, and mentally. How stress can affect diabetes. If you're feeling stressed, your body releases stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. This should give you an energy boost for a fight or flight response. But the hormones actually make it harder for insulin to work properly, known as insulin resistance. As energy can't get into your cells, your blood sugar levels rise. If your blood sugar levels go too high, it's called going hyper, full name hyperglycemia. If stress doesn't go away, it can keep your blood sugar levels high and put you at higher risk of diabetes complications. It can also affect your mood and how you look after yourself, which can start to affect your emotional health. But there are things you can do to take the pressure off. How to cope with stress. Everyone copes with stressful situations in different ways. If you want to change the way you react so things feel easier, try the Stress Manager tool on our Learning Zone at learningzone.diabetes.org.uk. You can answer questions on how you deal with the demands of managing your condition to get a plan of action to help you simplify stressful situations. Look after yourself. At times of stress, it's even more important to remember to look after yourself and treat yourself kindly. But we know it's not always as easy as that. If you're extra busy at work or looking after family, then forgetting to eat or take medication can happen. It's important to get a balance between looking after yourself without putting too much pressure on yourself to do everything perfectly. This can add or lead to stress. But it's good to be aware of how easy it can be to give into the habit of letting diabetes self care slip in times of stress. Getting enough sleep and building exercise, rest, and relaxation time into your routine helps some people cope better with stress. And you don't need us to tell you that turning to comfort food will raise your blood sugar and make you feel worse. Similarly, drinking more alcohol will affect your blood sugar levels. Learning how to see your diabetes differently may help. For example, by going on a diabetes education course and meeting others like you. Talk to others. Talking about what's making you stressed can help. It may put something into perspective, or you may just feel relieved about getting it off your chest. If you want to talk to someone about things that are worrying you, you could think about speaking to your healthcare team. If you find that stress is affecting how you manage your diabetes team may be able to give you advice about what could help. For example, they can help you work out when you might need to adjust your insulin. It doesn't matter that what you get stressed about may not be related to diabetes. It's getting support to manage it that's important. Getting support may start to help you think about how you react to stress and think about things and what you can change to make things easier. Tips for doing more walking. If you're unsure if walking is suitable for you, speak to your healthcare team first. They should also be able to offer you advice if you're concerned about falling or worried about any other mobility issues. If you feel like you need to start off at an easier pace, try standing during a TV advert. If you can manage it, work towards standing for the whole advert break, then move to walking on the spot. You can do it while you're cooking or watching a film or your favorite TV program. Set realistic goals. A walk can be as short or as long as you decide. For example, a few minutes on the spot or a walk around the block or into the town. You can also walk slow or fast or along different terrain, but it needs to be suitable for you. You can always make things harder once it becomes too easy and less motivating. Be creative with your walks and add variety. Park your car further away or get off public transport a stop earlier and walk the rest of the way. Try walk and talk phone conversations or meetings. Go for a walk with a friend or relative in your local park. Set aside a regular time. Have a set time during the day or week to go on your walk, whether that's in the morning, during your lunch break, or in the evening. This can help you to keep on track as long as you don't have to think about fitting it into each day. It can become part of your normal routine. Plan your walks. Have a rough plan of where you might want to walk. If you're heading for a longer walk, you may want to include nature spots and access to toilets and a cafe, and take a bag to store a drink, snacks, clothes, mobile phone, and your diabetes kit. To help protect your feet, wear well-fitting footwear that's appropriate for the weather. Stay connected. If you're worried about staying motivated, finding a music playlist, radio show, or podcast series to listen to when you're walking can help to keep you engaged and make the time go faster. Your walks may also be a good time to check in with your family over the phone or catch up with friends and loved ones. Keep on track with an activity planner. Count your steps and set goals using an app. Walk with others. Join a walking group. Sometimes it can be hard to find the motivation to get outside and get moving, but joining a walking group can really help. Together, you'll be able to explore your local area and enjoy a range of walks. Walking and managing your diabetes. Here we'll take you through some practical advice about snacking and managing your blood glucose, sugar levels when walking. Walking at any time of the day can be beneficial when you have diabetes. This can be before a meal or after. Snacking. If you have diabetes, the amount and type of food you will need when walking will depend on when you last ate, how hungry you are, and your blood sugar levels. A slice of malt loaf, a yogurt, or a piece of fruit such as a banana are good examples of pre and post walk snacks. Not everyone will need to have a snack before they start moving more, and what you do eat will also depend on the distance and pace of your walk. If you're walking for over an hour at a brisk to fast pace, think about having a snack during your walk. Walking and blood sugar levels. Depending on how long you walk for and how fast your pace is, walking can either lower or raise your blood sugar levels. If you have type 1 diabetes or treat your diabetes with medications that can lower your blood sugar levels, such as sulfonylureas, you should check your blood sugar levels before, during, and after you walk. It's also important to make sure you carry hypo treatments and your diabetes ID with you, and to let a family member or loved one know which route you're taking. Looking after your feet when walking. Walking is considered safe for most people, including all ages and fitness levels. But it's important to take extra care and look after your feet if you have diabetes. This is because you're at a greater risk of developing foot complications or diabetic neuropathy. It's important to wear socks that don't rub and shoes that fit well, provide support, and are appropriate for walking. To help prevent any problems with your feet, you should check them every day and look for any changes. Doing this after a walk is really important, as it can help you to spot any damage, such as blisters or cuts. How to look after your feet. If you live with diabetes, you're much more likely to develop problems with your feet. These problems can be serious and can cause ulcers or infections. And for some people, these problems can lead to amputations. But most problems, including amputations, can be prevented. If you take care of your feet and check them regularly, you can reduce your risk of developing foot problems. How to check your feet.
Hi, I'm Dan. I'm the head of care at Diabetes UK. And as a diabetes specialist nurse, I often tell people they need to examine their feet every day. But people don't really understand what that means. So we thought we'd take this opportunity to help show you and the people who help you at home what to really inspect for when you're checking your feet. And as part of our Putting Feet First campaign, we hope you'll learn something a little extra today. It's essential before anyone examines your feet to take your shoes and socks off. Whether it's a doctor, nurse, podiatrist, or yourself or your friends and family helping out, the most important thing is to take off your shoes and socks. As part of your foot check, you want to feel if the temperature is the same in both feet. You don't want your feet to be cold, you don't want them to be too hot. Inspect all areas of your foot to make sure that there's no hard skin, there's no scars, no scabs, nothing that isn't usually there. If it was there yesterday and you know where it's come from, it's fine. But you're looking around to see if there is any hard skin or any changes that you might want to tell someone about. The other area is the toes. Look in between the toes to see if there's any flaky or dry skin, and look at the toenails to make sure that they're not digging into the skin or that they haven't grown too long. When cutting your toenails, you should cut the toenails straight across. Don't forget, if you're inspecting your own feet, it may be quite difficult to see or reach some parts of your foot. In that case, get someone to give you a hand or use something like a mirror on the floor so that you can see underneath your feet.
The content of this article was last reviewed March 3rd, 2024. Next review date, March 3rd, 2027.
Thanks for joining me on Why Walking Matters, The Science Explained. If you enjoyed this episode, please follow, rate, and share the podcast. It helps others discover the joy and power of walking. You can also text me your thoughts or topic requests anytime using the link in the description, or you can email me, also in the description. Until next time, keep moving forward and walking with purpose.